Two fun facts before we get started here. Number one being, this is my third time recording this because apparently I can't seem to get it right and I forgot to change the file type that I was recording in. I already recorded this video once, then I started recording it again. But halfway through that, realized that I was already recording in the same file type again, and my editing software doesn't accept that file type. So you already know I'm in a great mood today. Second thing though is a real reason to actually be in a great mood. There's so much new Pokemon news, and I can't wait to talk with you all about it. Let's start off with one of the cooler new things that was revealed yesterday. We got Coro Coro leaked on the internet. It was apparently supposed to be coming out on the 15th, or that was like the estimated time for when it was going to be leaked on the internet. But cool thing is we got it a couple days early. We got part of it yesterday, and then we got the other part of it like earlier this morning at around like 2:30 a.m. or so. That was pretty cool that we got it a couple days earlier than expected, but it kind of sucks because I wasn't really planning for that to happen, but it did, so it's all good. In that Coro Coro release, we got a couple of new pieces of information just about different things, but some big stuff within that. One of the big things is we got the evolution of type Null, and we got actual artwork for it, and this thing is known as Silvadi, and this thing is actually one of the cooler, I guess you could say, Pokemon. I don't know, the cooler, more interesting, more mysterious looking ones that we've gotten revealed to us so far. There's a lot of reasons why this is definitely probably like it's setting off alarms for some people saying that's definitely a legendary. I wouldn't go as far as say it's a legendary. It's gonna be like a pseudo. Like, it definitely won't just be. There's no way. Like, there's no way that this thing is a legendary unless it's the first ever legendary to evolve, but I feel like there's a bit more to it than that, and I'll explain that in a separate video. Overall, though, I think that it's looking really, really awesome, and clearly this is like the true form, the true, like, potential or power level, this is in Dragon Ball, of type Null. Like, that his armor that he was wearing in his previous form was restraining him from actually reaching, which is really, really awesome, and there's so much to talk about with type Null's evolution that I just can't wait to actually go in more in depth with it. The cool thing about it, though, one quick comparison I want to make is you can actually see, like I said, when it evolves, it breaks off his armor and whatnot, but it looks so much like Arceus, and it looks it's basically like its actual true form. It doesn't need to be held back or restrained anymore. This is just so sick, man. I love this. I can't wait to get hands-on with this game. You guys don't even understand how hyped I am. What also came along with those leaks is we got ourselves the first look at Alolan Grimer, or as I like to call him, the Grimer from the south. He's got like that like mustard like chin beard. He's got, yeah, I mean I got a finer beard than Grimer does. It's actually kind of getting a little bit bushy there. We're gonna do something about this. We got Grimer there, Mr. Bucktooth Grimer. I'm calling this thing Buck. I don't care what anybody says. If you aren't naming it Buck, you're doing something wrong, or maybe a Booger Buck. he looks like a giant booger. Regardless, though, so you got that new Alolan Grimer, which is, you know, I'm not too like big of a fan of Muck or Grimer. I mean, Muck more specifically than Grimer, I think is cool. But the weird thing is, though, is like, why did they choose the same color as his shiny version to be his Alolan color? I don't really understand that. Does that mean that the shiny form of Alolan Grimer is just gonna be purple, like the regular one? Like, I feel like that's probably the direction they're probably gonna head in for that, if Game Freak's really been that lazy about changing his color up. But I don't really know. Maybe there's a reason why they made him booger green in the shiny color that or in the color of his shiny color. I'm telling you right now that its shiny form will be like a purple color, just like its regular form. I swear that that's gonna happen. I just know Game Freak well enough to the point where that's probably something they have in mind. Then finally, we also got some cool stuff about the Z-Ring, some cool new screenshots, and some like actual like, you know, real life modeled images with people wearing it and all that stuff. But the coolest part, which I think is like, aside from the type Null stuff, this is the best thing we got within this whole Coro Coro reveal, is we got the Jangmo-o evolution line. And what's cool about this is a lot of people are saying this guy's definitely gonna be the pseudo. I can 100% agree on that. He definitely looks like he's gonna be a pseudo legendary. But here's the thing, though. I almost feel like this generation has quite a few pseudo legendaries. There's so many cool Pokemon within this generation that really fit the level of being a pseudo, or look like they could like match that potential to become a pseudo based on how powerful they are. We don't know specific stats of everything yet, but I can almost guarantee you that this thing is going to be a pseudo legendary, that Tortinator is probably going to be either close to one or actually a pseudo. I don't know. I just have a funny prediction that he might be a pseudo legendary, or he might be, you know, somewhat close to it. But definitely Silvadi, if that thing is not a legendary in itself, which it almost seems like it could be in some cases, but I almost feel like it isn't at the same time. If that thing is legendary, well, let me tell you right now that that is definitely going to be a pseudo if it's not. But if it is legendary, then there you go. But I feel like if it's not, then it's definitely a pseudo. One cool thing I also wanted to bring up is that a lot of reviewers got to go out to Nintendo events recently and got some hands-on experience with a demo for Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, I don't know if this is the same demo that we're going to be playing in about 5 days from now on the 18th, or if it'll be an entirely different demo than we'll be getting. I have no idea. But essentially, when I watched GameXPlain's video, in their video, they said, and I quote, "To be clear, this is the same first 2 hours. The rest of you will be playing when the game comes out next month." At first, when I heard that, I was a little bit confused because I thought, okay, does that mean that's the same demo that we're going to get for Sun and Moon, like 5 days? Or does he mean that he just got an actual, like, full demo rather than one we'll be playing, and his was actually, like, from the full game itself that you could play only the first 2 hours of, and then, like, the game locks or something like that? Who really knows? Or does that mean that, like, this demo that a lot of the reviewers got to play, is that the same demo that we're going to be playing in a couple days from now, which would be kind of problematic if it included a lot of assets from the original game, or the full game rather, because then data miners are just going to go to town with that and leak a bunch of stuff, and we don't really want that. But at the same time, I mean, it's inevitably going to happen the closer and closer we get to the reveal of the release of the game. So let me know in the comments, like, what are your thoughts for the demo? What do you think that we might be able to do in it? I know Ash Greninja is obviously going to be something we get to use in it quite a bit, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to play with starters, because I know also in the GameXPlain video that they were talking about, they were saying that they got to actually pick from one of the 3 starters. So does that mean that they're, like, and this is another reason why I say I think that the demo that GameXPlain and a couple of other reviewers, that's the one I can notably mention because it's the only one who I've watched. I feel like that might mean that we're going to be getting a bit of a different demo, unless we're playing the same 2-hour demo that they got to play. But I almost feel like in a funny way that we'll end up playing a demo that's completely different than the one that those guys got to play, and Ash Greninja will be our starter, but who knows realistically. Something else cool that happened recently is there was a new trailer that was released on the Nintendo UK channel, and it was just sort of showing some new cinematic shots of Sun and Moon we haven't previously seen before. It showed us a bit of new information and whatnot, but not really too much, just some cool scenery shots and just also like just some new like aesthetics to the game that we haven't really seen before. Something cool though that we did see is if you pause for a few seconds in the trailer, or rather a few frames, you'll notice that there's actually this name that we haven't seen before talking about their trial, and this name goes by Lima or Ilima or something like that. I don't know exactly how you pronounce that. I think it's 2 L's at the beginning, but she's talking about her trial briefly and whatnot, which is interesting because that's not the name of a trial captain that we know of. So far we know of Lana, Kiawe, Malo, and Safakos. So those are the 4 trial captains we know of so far, each like holding their own respective typing of fire, water, electric, and grass. But does that mean that there's going to be another set of trial captains, like 4 more maybe, so that equals 8 gym leaders? One of like the more prevalent theories that I've had for the longest time that I've been sort of wanting to make a video on separately, and I guess I could if I really wanted to, but there's like this theory that I've been having floating around in my mind for a little bit, where if we have a system set up that's a bit different than the original, you know, standard way of playing through a Pokemon game, where you beat all the 8 gyms, you go to the Elite Four, beat the champion, that's it, you know? I feel like doing it a bit differently might be fun, keeping it generally the same, but you're just sort of switching up the way that you do it, which I think is definitely what GameFreak has done with this, or with this game, being with Pokemon Sun and Moon. They've already said it's really different than it's like the core Pokemon game that we're used to, different than the core Pokemon mechanics that we're used to, but it's also going to be something reinventing for older players. And one of those things that I thought that they did, I'm fairly confident that this is the direction that they're heading in, is that each island will probably feature 2 trial captains, so that way there's 4 islands, you'll have a total of 8 trial captains you're able to fight against, and then each island also has 1 kahuna, which is like the strongest trainer of each of the islands. So realistically, when you think about that, that's 8 gym leaders, 4 kahunas, or 4 Elite Four members, and then finally you get to beat the boss fight somewhere, like the ending boss battle or whatever. And with that said, I think that would be cool if they went in that direction with it, and so they had it so you fight the Elite Four evenly in different times of the game, and it's not like back to back to back to back. It's not the traditional way of playing it. It'll be a bit differently. So now it'll be done a bit differently. So now you have, like, you know, the introduction of these kahunas, which is the strongest trainers on the island, and then, you know, you have at least one of these guys for each of the islands, but then each of the extra trial captains that we know about only being 1 currently so far, that could mean that this one might be on another island with one of the already existing trial captains that we know about, and then we'll be able to, you know, do 2 trial captains per island, and then maybe we'll have, you know, 1 kahuna per island, and then go fight the boss fight or something like that. I think that would be pretty cool if that's the direction that they headed in. Let me know if you agree with that theory in the comments. Just a little mini thing that I wanted to talk about based on the fact now that we know there's more than just 4 trial captains. Also, there's a really big news lineup coming up up soon for Pokemon Sun and Moon, being that there's a lot of new information that's coming out. And actually, in about less than 24 hours from now, there's going to be a big new announcement or a new trailer coming out for Sun and Moon. And as usual, I will be live streaming it here on the channel, so if you want to check that out, it'll be happening at about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or if the time changes, I'll let you know, but I think that's usually the time that the trailers drop at. First link in the description if you want to come check it out live with us when we do it. I'll be reacting to it, breaking it down live, talking about all the new information that we get revealed, and sort of giving you my general like live initial thoughts on it. I'll be doing all of that tomorrow morning, so if you want to join us for that, make sure to check out the first link in the description. It might be like a different time of the day for you, but it's gonna be morning for me, so join us on that if you'd like to. And if you can't watch it live, it'll be available as a video after, so don't worry. That's on the 14th, so we got that new information tomorrow. Coro Coro was supposed to originally come out and be leaked on the internet, or estimated to be leaked on the 15th, but as you can see, we ended up getting that a little bit earlier, so that's pretty awesome. We also got Pokenshi coming out on the 16th, which is a Japanese Pokemon TV show that has been going on and airing for years now, and they show us usually a lot of cool new stuff that's going to be happening within the new games and all that. It happened for like years in the past. I think I don't know how long the show's actually been around for, but I know I started watching it back in the Black and White days when they were showing off all the new gameplay for Black and White when that was first revealed and talked about. So I mean, this is a really cool show that only, you know, really has real relevance to watch it, I guess, if you're not like a local fan of it, when new information is coming out or when they're showing new exclusive stuff on it that we haven't seen before. And clearly there's something like that going on for the 16th. What I'd like to believe is they'll maybe show us demo footage. They might show us what we can expect in the demo, what could be possible for us to do in the demo, and like what it might pertain to and what area of the game we might be able to play in, or whether or not it'll be like its entire like separate quest than the actual full game, like how they did with Oras's demo. Who entirely knows? It could be something entirely different. I don't know what exactly it'll be. That's just my prediction. There's probably going to be some kind of demo gameplay on Pokenshi, but could be anything at all, honestly. And let me know in the comments what you think about that. But the only reason why I say that it might be demo footage is because 2 days later, on the 18th, we get the demo for Pokemon Sun and Moon, which, by the way, for those of you who are like curious about how you get the demo, I'm like 99.9% sure it's free. I don't see a reason why you'd have to pay for a demo. It's never really ever been like that. Oras's was free. I just remember that for the first couple of weeks, you needed to get like invited to this certain program and get like yourself a serial code that you could enter in, and then you could download the demo like that, and it wasn't available on the eShop for everyone. But I think this year they're doing it differently and everybody can play it on the 18th, so I'll make sure to make a tutorial when it comes out, so that way if you're confused on how to actually download it yourself, don't worry, I got you covered. I'll make a tutorial, you're good to go. But yeah, on the 18th we get the demo for Sun and Moon. It's gonna be an awesome time to go and play that, and I hope you guys are excited to see us live stream with the hell out of that when it comes out. It's gonna be an awesome time. Also coming out with some of this demo footage from some of these reviewers that went out to, you know, these Nintendo events and got the chance to, like, you know, have some hands-on with some early gameplay and whatnot. One of the cool things that came out of it was there's some new screenshots leaked on the internet and whatnot of, you know, in-game screenshots from inside the Pokemon centers, which actually those look absolutely incredible. If you look at the screenshot, you got a coffee shop on the left, you got the regular healing center in the middle, and then you got the Pokemon on the right. Overall, I think it looks really nice. I love the way these new Pokemon centers look, and I'm curious to see what the features the coffee shop will have. I'm not sure if that could be something beneficial for both the trainer and their Pokemon. Maybe you can go there and buy like energy drinks for your trainer or something like that, or like coffee. For whatever purpose that might serve, I have no idea, but I feel like you might be able to also go there and buy like, we actually saw this in a previous trailer for the Festival Plaza reveal, where we had these new, like, you know, the medicines that you could use to boost special attack, defense, speed, and all that stuff like that, those EV increasing medicines. Those have basically been reskinned and turned into these like coconut drinks that you can purchase, I guess, from maybe shops like the coffee shops or maybe department stores or wherever. I imagine that's probably where you'll be able to purchase those from, because that would only make the most sense out of anything. We also got to see some inside of the clothing store, some different battle scenes, and just overall some really cool screenshots that came out. Some of the demo footage that was captured, I'm not sure how much of that's actually going to be revealed onto the internet. I don't know if any of it can be, but I know people probably did capture footage, or they just went there and got a bunch of new stuff. But regardless, some cool stuff came out of that demo preview for some of those people who got the chance to play it, so that's pretty awesome. Now, something that I found absolutely hilarious when I found this out, someone linked me this article the other day. It was actually yesterday afternoon, and it was pretty funny when I saw this, and I couldn't believe my eyes actually when I saw this stuff. So this article that I found yesterday, it basically, I guess another person from this website called My Nintendo News was probably one of the people who got the chance to go out and have a hands-on with this reviewer copy of Sun and Moon at one of these Nintendo events. And one of the things, or one of the bits of information that I suppose they found out from a Nintendo rep or somebody, basically they found out that Sun and Moon is going to completely disable the stereoscopic 3D feature within the games, aside from one minigame quest that involves you using the Rotom decks to take pictures with, which I think is kind of cool that they would do that, because realistically, like, just be honest with me, how many times do you actually take your 3DS? Like, where is mine right now? Like, I'll be honest with you, I guarantee you, 3D slider isn't even turned on right now. So it's like, how often do you actually, you know, play with the 3D slider on a 3DS? How often does that really see its use? And it's kind of funny because I ultimately would imagine that if Nintendo were to make another console after the 3DS, just specifically as a mobile console, which I feel like is what the NX is trying to achieve, there probably won't be any 3D features because realistically, who actually uses 3D? The 3D on the 3DS is not really that great, to be honest. But regardless, I'm kind of glad that they took that out because that means there's going to be less performance issues, hopefully anyway, and that means that the overall new engine that we're running on for Sun and Moon should hopefully run a bit smoother, taking out some of the extra performance lag and buffs that would have to be used to make it so that the 3D can be implemented and visualized on screen and whatnot, or rather out of your screen. And that was so bad. And be able to, you know, give you that proper 3D experience, in quotations as they want to call it, but realistically we all know it's not that amazing. So in a good way, I'm glad they kind of took that out, but at the same time, some people might, I don't know, take the piss at Nintendo. I know I was definitely, because I find it funny how, you know, the 3DS, it's literally called the 3DS. The whole marketing platform of this console is that it's 3D, and you know, that kind of defeats the entire purpose of it. I just thought that was pretty funny, so that's something else I wanted to add into this. One other bit of information for those of you who may even still play Pokken. I'm not sure how many of you actually still do, and maybe I'll make like a separate little video for this. I don't really know. I might go back and play Pokken every now and again. But cool thing is, Scizor was actually announced for Pokken tournament, so that's pretty cool. If you still play Pokken, then hop online. I think you can actually download any of the new characters for free, I believe. I'm not sure if they cost anything. If they do cost something though, forgive me, I have no idea, but it is available on there now, so feel free to go check it out if you'd like to. And finally, one more thing I wanted to mention, and this is something that I wanted to talk about in a separate video, but I didn't really feel like it was that important to make a whole video on, because it's literally just a question. I guess this is a good time to, you know, ask you guys this. Recently, there was a trailer, like I said, that showed off the evolved forms of the starters and all that, but within that same trailer, we also got to know about the demo that's coming out on the 18th. We also got to see something cool about Mega Evolution, showing off that Mega Evolution is back at Sun and Moon. Well, with the fact that we were able to relive Mega Evolution, you know, I thought it's possible that GameFreak could maybe add in a couple new Mega Evolutions. And I know that seems probably very unlikely for some people, like, to believe that that would happen, and it almost seems unlikely for me to even believe that, because I know that they're focusing heavily on these new, like, Z moves, especially the specific ones for Snorlax and some of these other Pokemon. So I imagine that there's going to be, like, certain stages that even go above the Z moves for certain Pokemon, where, like, you can actually fuse with your Pokemon and the trainer like you can with Ash Greninja. So more Pokemon like that maybe might be the new type of Mega Evolution, if you want to call it that, and there won't be any new Mega Evos, but I almost feel like Game Freak will add in a couple little, like, Easter egg Mega Evolutions, like maybe one or two, and especially for one Pokemon in particular that I could think of, being Flygon, because they always said that they were planning on making a Mega Flygon, but they couldn't come up with a design for it. So you had enough time at this point, Masuda. Get on it, boy. I'm just saying, like, realistically, they definitely could have come up with some new Mega Evolution designs within the time period that it took them to make Oras and Sun and Moon, or between them. So maybe we'll see some, probably not. It's wishful thinking. I mean, the fact remains is that they said that you could get Mega Evolution stones by either buying them from shops or talking to specific people. So, who knows? Maybe some person we talk to might just give us a Mega Flygon Knight, or Flygon Knight, or whatever you want to call it, or maybe some other cool new Mega Evolutions that might come out of it. I don't know. I'm like 30-70 on that. Like, I really don't see that happening, but there's like a small bit of hope that that might happen. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Do you think they're going to add in any new Mega Evolutions into Sun and Moon? I wouldn't hold my breath on that, but I don't know, something worth it, like, to speculate on, I suppose. Let me know what you guys think, and with that said, I want to thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a big old thumbs up on the video. I'd greatly appreciate it. And also to make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for all the latest and greatest new Sun and Moon info and content that you're going to be seeing here on the channel. We're going to be streaming and playing the heck out of the demo, doing so much stuff for the full release of the game when it fully comes out. I can't wait to share it all with you guys. We're going to be streaming a ton. If you want to join us on any of that, like I said, make sure to subscribe and click that bell notification button so that way you can turn notifications on for the channel, whether that be through push notifications, email notifications, or both types, and turn those on for my channel to make sure you never miss a notification for whenever I upload or stream again, and that's assuming that the system actually works for once. And then from there, you should be able to participate with us in our live streams or see it whenever I upload a new video and all that good stuff. That said, though, I want to thank you guys very much once again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in maybe another video like this if you guys want more. Then I don't know, that awkward outro. I'm just gonna walk away. That's how we're gonna do this. I'm gonna walk off the camera and we're just gonna end the video